So welcome back guys to another vlog. We're picking this one up here as I'd been to Tarifa to try and find a new tyre for the van. In preparation for my second visit to the ITV inspection, I was trying to find a second-hand tyre to match the one that I had on the back axle. I quite quickly learned it's like looking for a needle in a haystack, and the best thing to do is to just replace both with new tyres. I headed back to Bolonia for the weekend to enjoy the birthday of my friend Carlos. Having helped a little bit setting up the event, I sat back to enjoy the afternoon, starting with a jam session featuring a variety of different musicians and friends in the local area. I managed to get a lot of shots, mainly of Selena playing. She's really incredible, you should check out her page.
What it's all about. That's why we love Bologna, especially on a day like today when it's no one here. Look.
I wanted to check out and see how the visibility looked before going to get all the gear to do a bit of free diving. I knew there wouldn't be a huge amount to see in this spot, but nevertheless I managed to get a few nice little shots. Really happy to see the new GoPro come into good use once again.
Big time chilling.
Yeah.
And every time I touch you, I just tremble inside. But I know how much you.
This place for me is without doubt one of my favourites. There's always a great atmosphere and this day was no exception.
I'm about to run out.
So it was a bit of a random mixture of different moments through the course of the day. As always, when you're having fun, time just flew by. At this point around sunset, things started to wind down with the jam session.
So hush, little baby, don't you cry.
And it was time for the DJ to step up and the rave to kick off. I did stay for a while, but the genre of music wasn't really my thing. From what I understood, the party went on well into the night. I was up the next morning pretty early to get back in the sea for another swim. I decided as well to pack my bag and go for a hike along the beach.
Was up till late, but the music wasn't quite my liking. It was all right, but it wasn't quite my style. So I found it quite hard to connect with the music. Do you know what I mean? I'm more of a house person, more like house music. But we're gonna finally the wind's gone. There's been a lot of wind these days since I've been here, but today the wind's dropped down again, which is good. But I've come to El Chorrito, this beautiful spring here, which is a little bit hidden in the mountains. If you follow along the beach, it's a lovely freshwater spring that I always fill up the water bottles with whenever I go on a hike. I feel like the most likely thing that I'm going to do from here is just drive home back to the UK. There's so many reasons that I think that makes sense, you know, like just little things like all my tools are all messed up. I need to fix all my tools. I think the best place to fix my gearbox is going to be in England. I want to redo the inside. Again, England, it's summer. All in all, it feels like that's what I need to be doing.
camped up in the tent here, somewhere around here. But I got bitten by something, and that's what made me eventually go back to the van. It's weird, but I don't have any connection with people that, I find it really hard to connect with people that are getting high all the time on drugs and stuff like that. And that's not a judgment on those people doing that, or even on what they're doing. It's just the fact that I'm not in that space means it's hard, but I do love music. So yeah, obviously most parties are generally related to drugs and alcohol, so it's a challenge, you know. Yesterday, just weren't feeling it, not at all. I felt really lonely yesterday, even though I was around a lot of people. Is that something that anyone else resonates with? You're around loads of people, but you feel lonely. Back in Estepona, decided to get going. I'm going to just get these tyres sorted and drive back to England. I have to grin and bear the fact that I'm going to have to get myself in more debt to get home. But it is what it is. I can't be dwelling on it too much. I've just got to get home and reconfigure things, go again. It's for me the best time of the day. 5 o'clock, the sun starts to go down a little bit. The heat is still really hot, but it's not like middle of the day heat, so you can actually sit out in it. Voy a la playa. I go to the beach now, have a swim. Sunday, can't do nothing with regards to the van today, so yeah, we're gonna chill. Picked up so much since I've made this decision to just drive back home now. I've started thinking a lot about, you know, life back home and playing cricket and seeing friends and family again. And actually being in the UK with my van is so different to when I've been flying back. So I can actually, you know, I've got my own space. So as the new week rolled around, we got the new tyres ordered and fitted within a few days up in the Polígono. The guys here at Neumáticos Amores were the best in terms of price that I'd found in the area. I kept one of the 2 tyres and swapped it for my spare so that at least all 5 of my tyres are now the same brand. We're going to go to the ITV in the morning. Yeah, we're all good. Hopefully back on the road tomorrow afternoon. Got a appointment for tomorrow where I'm going to change the cable for the speedo. So I'm hoping I'll get up early enough to get it done before the ITV at 11. Tonight is officially the start of the summer. So apparently there's like bonfires on the beach and there's people that have brought tents and whatever else. So yeah, it's quite a big event here in Spain. So happy to see the new tyres all sorted, but now it was back to the garage to get this speedo cable done as well. We made it through the MOT in the end, the ITV. We just had to wait forever to get through. Today it was really busy in the place, I don't know why. I also changed the cable for the speedo for the 3rd time. But I did ask the guys if they knew why it keeps failing, and they said we've tried to reroute the cable in a slightly different way, but it's sheared off at the hub side, not the other side. So my friend did say it could be the actual speedo, the actual clock. So let's hope and pray that it's gonna hold. It's super important to know how many, you know, kilometers I'm driving in terms of doing services and things like that. So finally back on the road, headed back to Tarifa to organise a few things before ultimately beginning the journey back to the north. Here we are in Los Lances. This will be possibly the last swim of this season as we start to head back to the UK. Finally got to grin and bear the fact that it's got to be done. But I think I'm just going to drive directly to Bilbao. It's like 10 or 11 hours drive, I think, from here to the north. It is expensive for the ferry, but the thing is, I've just got to get back now. It's time. That's the plan, you know. So around 1,026 kilometres from Tarifa to Bilbao. How many days do you think it's going to take? So here we go. Made it to Jerez de la Frontera. That was quite a good little drive. We managed to cover some good ground. And we've got another hour of light, so we're going to try and head up towards Sevilla for tonight. One thing I do love about passing through Sevilla is the beautiful shot as you go over the bridge. As sunset came and went, I decided to start looking for somewhere to plot up for the evening. It had been a very good start, covering around 240 of the 1,026 kilometres required to get to Bilbao. Having been along these routes many times before over the years, I actually recognised a lot of these spots, full of truckers heading on their journeys. Stopped for dinner here, that was me for the evening. So had a bit of a stretch out before getting back on the road once again, looking to push up towards Madrid and beyond. We are in a place called Jamón de Monasterio. This is where we've landed. This morning I've done about 50 kilometres from where I was just outside Sevilla, and we're going to head up to Merida and along from there. Making slow progress. We're around about Merida now. I'm taking regular breaks just not to get too tired. So I'm still going. I'm absolutely knackered now. I've been driving a lot in the last few days. I'm going to keep going, keep moving. Having a little rest here. We're making good ground, getting there. We've just stopped off at this nice little spot here, but yeah, there's no Wi-Fi, unfortunately. I need the Wi-Fi to keep making sure I'm on track. So we are in a place called Jarandila. I'm not that far from Madrid. We're just going to look for some Wi-Fi. Apparently there's free Wi-Fi in the train station. I want to download a couple of maps. I'm using offline maps because I've got no Wi-Fi at the moment, so I'm downloading it as I go. Guys, had enough. I just thought I'd take her for a walk. We walked all the way over there. As we got back over to here, she just found this big lump of grass and just laid down. Hoya, hoya, man. We just come here to. I stopped, couldn't help myself to get tea. But the only thing is I don't like it when they do it directly like this. I like it when you can pour it yourself, but listen, we take it. Take these little wins. So around another 350 kilometres knocked off of the journey. Just under 600 kilometres done so far, which is around 60% of the way. Waking up the next morning here in Bejar, I spent most of the day organising all the footage I'd been collecting over the last week or two. You know you're up in the mountains when you see these beautiful freshwater kind of taps that are just there, available. Love it. Fresh spring water. Covering a lot of miles during these days, I decided to do a quick oil check and to top up the coolant levels. Very important to do these things regularly. This is actually an old train station here. An old train tracks that used to run. And then you've also got this platform here and whatever else, and it's just been transformed into a pathway and kind of abandoned over time. Coming up now, we're going to crack on straight through towards Valladolid. I did manage to cover reasonable distance by the end of the day, although a lot of this was done after the sun had set and the light was gone.
بخير مقرد
الحمد لله.
معلم
مرحبا.
صاحبي. Yesterday we went via Salamanca, Valladolid, and then we carried on up towards Burgos. We're about 30-40 kilometers from Burgos. Carry on straight up to Bilbao, and then we're going to check out the ferries and make a plan from there. So I've just uncovered a new puente, a new spring. It looks like it's quite a beautiful, well-maintained spot here actually. Obviously this water here is the overflow. Always some religious connotation with every spring that I've ever found. There always seems to be some hidden kind of knowledge in spring water. It's just that they're quite often not maintained well, and so they're not usable. I'm going to change these filters. There's 2 water filters there that I'm going to change. I think it's about time. Sort of connections these have got. You can see inside there's a bit of a build up inside, so I'm going to change that over now. We are with a brand new one. We've had a wash, we've filled up the tanks, and now we are going straight through Burgos towards Bilbao. I don't really think there's that much more to go. I think it's about another hour or 2 of driving, and we're going to be in Bilbao. $110 kilometers to go to get to Bilbao. Absolutely knackered, but we've got to do that one last push, go straight to the port, find out what's happening with these ferries.
One thing I did notice as we approached Bilbao was the complete change in the weather. The clouds came over and it started to rain.
So we've made it to Bilbao at long last, absolutely over the moon. 1,026 or more miles covered, or kilometers should we say, covered. Going to check out a little bit of Bilbao, and then we're going to try and make a move to the north, either by ferry or driving. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do so now. Don't forget to drop a like, and thanks for watching this video. On to the next one.
If you're intrigued to know where this leads, don't forget to tune in next week for the next part. For any ideas on what you want to see more of in future videos, don't forget to drop your comments in the box below. Ciao!